Today we honor Assata Shakur, freedom fighter, revolutionary, and voice of resistance. She stood against oppression when silence was safer, reminding us that struggle is a song we must keep singing. Her courage wasn't just in words, but in action, challenging systems that tried to break her spirit. Assata showed us that survival is victory and liberation is love in motion. May her name echo as a reminder: the fight for justice is not finished, and the future still needs freedom dreams. Rest in peace, Assata Shakur.
Rest in peace, Assata. What up, what up, what up, what up? You hear that theme music. You see these beautiful faces. We are the Let's Get Canceled podcast. I'm your boy, Thommy with an H. I'm the voice of the people. I speak for y'all.
And I'm your boy, Big Tech Dog, your favorite friendly, lovable loudmouth. Hey, yo, cousin.
What up, cousin?
You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get canceled.
So tonight's episode, we've got one story.
Yeah,
and it has to do with the Rattlers. Partially. You know my affinity for the Rattlers, but this past weekend there was an incident that has made national news with the illustrious Joe Bullard making a statement about Alabama State University's honeybees. And for some reason, his statements have caused such controversy. So we're gonna get into that. But before we do that, cuz, how you feeling, man? How's life on your end?
Listen, man, things are good, bro. Things are good. I'm loving life. I got a busy October, man. October's gonna be crazy, but I'm loving every minute of it. Hopefully soon, man, we'll be able to get some camera footage out there so y'all can come along on a journey when we do our stuff outside of this podcast. We do a lot of things individually and some things together. We coming up on basketball season. So you know, man, about that time again. We're going to be running with the Let's Get Down again this year.
Yeah, man. The Florida Get Down. Fun, definitely have to get back with the Florida Get Down, do some announcing. I do miss those days. I miss those days, miss those games. It's hectic, but it's a beautiful thing, man. But definitely, everybody who, if you're in right now, make sure that you are liking, sharing, subscribing, all of that good stuff. Wherever you find your podcast, the day after this airs, it will be uploaded, so you will be able to get there, take a look at it, take a listen, and have a conversation with us. That's really what this is all about. We have these conversations. We really want to hear your points of view, and we love you all, and we definitely appreciate everyone who's been around thus far, and we look forward to everyone else who's going to join the Let's Get Canceled family.
Hey, make sure that y'all hit that bell notification too. So every time we upload a new video, every time we go live, anytime, you'll get notified right away, man. And please, y'all, look, we like the engagement. So if you hear us say something crazy, like Tommy's going to say something stupid that you don't agree with, let us know. We want to know that. Now, we're not mean people. I know I joke around a lot talking about, I'll just go in on you. I'm not going to go in on you. I mean, unless you're disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? But hey, we want to hear all comments from all sides. Agree or disagree, we want to hear it, man.
I'm not going to say anything that you would disagree with, because I'm the voice of the people. I speak for you. So you will not disagree with what I say. Because for the most part, it is exactly how you feel about things. And also, I do understand on Saturday on the live, we said we will be coming back today, and we will be finishing up our battle, but Tech decided that he would just wave the flag. It was over with. He understood what that assignment was, and found out really quickly that, all right, because you got it, man, we're just gonna pivot and move on. So,
I can see the battle
washed.
Saturday's battle. Washed. I can see that battle. But please don't think for a second that we not going back at it, and we ain't going, because when I dig in my battle rap bag, and just anyway, we'll do that another time, because there's a whole lot of stuff that's going on, and we figured the fun stuff for us is going back and forth with that, but this is more pressing and more important.
This is definitely a pressing situation.
Right.
Yeah. So in this particular episode, like I said, we were going to weigh in on the issue that Joe Bullard put himself into. There was a situation where he had this.
Congratulate them. They're now the new face of Ozempic.
And is it bad? I don't think it's bad. Because what do you think? You just thought it was funny.
It's still funny to me every single time. I've heard it 372 times, and every single time I chuckle. I'm gonna tell you why. Because when I was a little boy, growing up in Palaca, some of y'all will remember. If you from Palaca, you'll remember Mr. Tate. Mr. Tate was the barber, right? He was an old man. I can hear y'all snickering right now talking about a barber. When did you need a barber? Shut up. But that ain't the point. But when I was a little boy, I was sitting there, and when you waiting on your turn, it was just all types of talk. And I realized
barbershop talk.
Right. The meanest, most disrespectful people on the planet are old black men. What Chris Rock said, the most racist people in the world are old black men. The meanest, most say whatever they want, only second to old black women. I'm telling you that now. So that right there sounded to me like an old black man who still has a microphone in his face, and he just said the first thing that came to his mind, because what you gonna do to me? I'm Joe Bullard. You definitely ain't gonna fire me.
But that's the thing about the honeybees. They are the BBW dance troupe. They know this. That's their stick. That's their calling card. We are so they don't allow you to come on unless you 2 bills plus onto this team. So for him to make that particular joke, is that and I guess this is where I'm going to come to the question for you. Do you consider what he did fat shaming, or is it simply a joke? And or is fat shaming and the joke, can they be one and the same?
Do I consider it fat shaming? Well, let's do this. I'm going to say, what is fat shaming? And I'm just going to Google the definition real quick. It says the action or practice of humiliating someone judged to be fat or overweight by making mocking or critical comments about their size. So I guess by that definition, the key word in that though is humiliating. I don't think that you can humiliate someone if by commenting on or mocking the thing that they are putting forward as their calling card. Okay. For instance, if my calling card is I'm bald and I'm beautiful, bald men do this, and then you say something about bald men, it's not really humiliating because I've put that forward. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I think we're in a time in American culture in general where people just kind of, y'all get people, skinny people is mad with Joe Bullard. For what? He ain't talking about you. You understand what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. Now,
and I guess we have to give a little bit of just to give a pause here. Just have to give a little bit of a backstory on who Joe Bullard is. Joe Bullard is the voice of the Marching 100, Florida A&M University's Marching 100 band. He is the voice of the band. This situation was said during halftime of the game before the Marching 100 came out to perform. So it's basically halftime shows in HBCUs are battle of the bands. Your band comes out, they do their thing, we come back behind it, and we mock you and we say things disrespectfully at times. But again, it's all in fun and in jest. And this is where this came from. It wasn't him just sitting up there like, you remember when Jesse Jackson was talking about Obama, I want to cut that nigga's nuts off. It wasn't one of those.
Right. It wasn't that.
Got caught on a hot mic situations. No, this is the battle of the bands. This is what so I have to disparage what you are and what your band does, because everyone has to know we're better. And this is just simple trash talk that goes on along.
This is
Bro,
It's just not simple trash talk.
There have been way worse things said during Battle of the Bands.
Correct. But that was during all right, so here's where
halftime show, Battle of the Bands. It's your band versus my band. I'm
Correct.
speaking for my band. And there have been way worse things said than look at the fat girls.
You're right, but I'll put it like this. I have to divert from what you just said a little bit because there is a lightheartedness to the banter between the band because nobody believes that any two HBCUs truly hate one another. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So, like when the biggest
was that not lighthearted banter? It was disrespectful, but was not lighthearted banter.
The thing is that because of the subject matter, the line is blurred a little bit. Because all right, so bands normally go at each other about what they've done on the field for their performance. That wasn't at them for their performance. That was about them personally. You understand what I'm saying? That if you watch any Battle of the Bands, I'll give you an example. I talk about the Baby Rattlers here all the time, right? That they've got a new band announcer, right? So I'm in the booth for the game, and they have this guy come up for the band announcer. They played a rivalry game recently. And the other school predominantly black, this school predominantly black. And when I tell you that band came up there, and the first thing the guest band said, he was like, there is one school in Orlando and rah, rah, rah. And it was like, oh, and he's at their home field. He was talking Cash Money. And I was like, but it was good because it was like, my school's better than your school type of talk. And soon as he got done, though, here come the other announcer. That was cute. That was the first thing out of his mouth. That was cute. And they went in. But it was my band versus your band. And what the crowd didn't see was before the other band announcer left.
The dap and hug.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like that. You understand what I'm saying? He pounded everybody up in the room. All right, guys. You know what I'm saying? And so it's always been about my school versus your school, my band versus your band. People don't know, like Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman is the biggest rivalry in the world, but they love each other. You know what I'm saying?
There is love. There is love in the HBCU community.
So you see the difference between I'm talking about what you did on the field, you're talking about me and how I look. And you know what I'm saying?
I see where you're going with it, but again, in the HBCU community, if you go to these message boards and see things that are said back and forth, if you sit there and you're talking about your school's losing their accreditation, you can't get a job because you went to that particular school, like the things that go back and forth.
That's why you don't give them. They don't get those people on the message boards. Don't get a microphone. That's the point. That's why you got to audition to be an announcer.
And here's the other thing. You probably get more people that view these things and share them online than you have that were in that stadium.
Correct.
And the bigger problem is like even FAMU, they were just recently disrespecting their new president.
Yep.
MAGA Marva, as they called her, someone put in there, she looked like she smoked cools. It's like this look, and they just disparaged this lady up and down this message board. People have been yelling and screaming this forever, but as soon as Joe Bullard said this, it became an issue. So that's going to lead me to my next question. And this, again, I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself, but we're going to see if you can actually do it. When it comes to this particular situation of fat shaming, is there a double standard? When a man gets to be called fat, man gets to be called whatever. There was a group called the Fat Boys. No one ever had a problem with them being called the Fat Boys.
They weren't just called the Fat Boys. They called themselves the Fat Boys. You see the difference?
I'm pretty sure somebody, when they went to go sign that record label, it was like, "What's your name?" And they were like, "Man, we 3+," and they was like, "Nah, y'all niggas the Fat Boys. And if you want to get this check, you're gonna be the Fat Boys." And they was like, and you know what I mean? It's like, I'm pretty sure that wasn't their idea, because as an MC, you don't want to be just that, but someone said, "Nigga, we can make a bunch of money," and I'm pretty sure someone else told that nigga, "Your name's not Dwight anymore; it's Heavy D." Nigga, you don't give yourself nicknames. Like niggas don't give themselves nicknames when they're bad. Like I got a homeboy right now. I've been calling this nigga Fatso for like the last 30 years. I got a homeboy named Fat Pat because we had a homeboy named Pat, and he was the dog man, so we had a dog man Pat, and we got a Fat Pat. Like nobody ever said anything. Do you know anyone named Fat Keisha? Fat Pam?
No.
Why? What? But again, this is my question to you. Is there a double standard when it comes to
two things to that? And I hear what you're trying to. I hear what you're trying
Bruce,
to say.
Bruce. That nigga named himself Bruce twice because he was that big.
He was. I'm just trying to two of them Bruces. You know what's really bad about this is that I just realized, like, I know Fatso.
You know Fatso.
I don't know what his real name is. I've always just called him Fat Boy, Fatso. That's been
he was just Fats. That's what nigga Fats.
He was introduced to me.
Right.
And when you introduced him to me, it was like, this my dog, Fatso. And I was like, what up, man? He said, what up? He didn't say my name, Daryl. He ain't correct. He ain't fixed nothing. But you know what, though? That's the thing. This is different. You understand what I'm saying? This is because when you take someone of the stature of a Joe Bullard, and I told you before, I've never met the man. Mm-hmm. I've never been in the same room with the man that I'm aware of.
Right.
But I've heard the stories and I know the lore. I know the legend. The legend of Joe Bullard. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when I know that about that person, I feel like I would be hurt if I showed up. And I'm a big dude. I'm a fat boy. You understand what I'm saying? If I showed up and his comment about whatever it was I was doing was, he's the new spokesperson for Ozempic. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
why would your feelings be hurt?
I didn't say my feelings would be hurt. I said I feel some type of way, and the reason being is because you're the butt of the joke. You're the butt of the joke. Right.
So now we're not allowed to joke.
You're absolutely allowed to joke. And I didn't say I would be upset. I would be mad. I think I would feel some type of way only because of the position that the person who said it and what I thought of that other person.
So had he said so do you think
there would be around? You know good and well you've heard somebody could say something to you in a private room and in your living room and you'd be like, all right, bro. But then if we were doing a live show at the same time and we got I don't know how many thousands of people who are listening and then they said that same thing, hey, bro, that's disrespectful. Like, hey,
not if it's funny.
It better be real funny.
If it's fun, that shit he said was real funny in the moment.
To me, really funny. And to really you, in the moment. But if you listen to that groan from that crowd at home, the crowd at home was like, "Oh nigga,"
because it was Ozempic's new to us, so it's like, ooh,
nope,
got him.
You almost said it. You almost said it. You almost was like, because it was a little over the line.
No. I was never going over the line. No. What Joe did, and I've known of Joe almost my entire life. I have known Joe for at least 30 years.
Right.
And he is just a old black man that got a mic in his hand. He's getting progressively more expressive and gives less and less fucks. He's keeping his he's keeping his fucks in his pocket more and more these days.
You know what's funny is that there are things that, like, all right, so I am of the lineage of Joe Bullard. And the only reason being is because Joe Bullard does what he does. He trained a dude and that dude trained me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
You are from the Joe Bullard tree. For sure.
Right. So because of that, I had to learn that there are rules to this. There are parameters to this. And because I know what those parameters are, I think that was a situation where there's an old man who is going, you know what? I'm sorry, rules. Nigga, I'm Joe Bullard. Watch this. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what it feels like.
But had he said this about the big sousaphone guy and the line of tuba players,
you're right.
Would there have been the backlash had it been them instead of the honeybees?
No.
So the double standard is because I've
Protect black
always
women.
wondered.
The double
I've
standard
always
is protect black women.
because I've always wondered, like, why is it offensive to ask a woman how much she weighs, or to go up and be like, "Hey, you pregnant?" You can't do that. Or be like, "Oh, congratulations," and then make her be like, "No, I'm not pregnant." It's just
look here, bro. I purposely avoid that as much as I am down.
Right, and you are definitely we have been raised to not go there. Don't say those things. Those things are offensive. But why?
Now I don't believe
Nobody's ever told me why.
I'll ask a woman how old she is. In a heartbeat.
You don't ask a woman her age. She gonna lie anyway.
Hey, listen.
So what the fuck you asking for?
And my response to that is always, I bet you much rather tell me what the age is instead of having me guess. Because if I guess, whatever pops in my head, I'm adding 10 years then.
Just in case.
Just to mess with you.
But why?
I see what you're saying, bro. Like the thing is, though, is that culturally, there are things that are separate. But what I have noticed happening recently, more and more dudes, especially on platforms like this one, and on podcast, and they are bringing these women, these delusional women, in who get in there and say, "Well, look, I don't care what nobody say. I'm a 10." And you be like, "Are you hiding the 10 in your back pocket?" but I still believe that there's a difference. If I could elucidate what that difference is, I would, but I can't. It just feels wrong.
Because of the way that
she steps something out of line. Once she steps across that line, it's free, fair game.
So to be disrespectful, you're willing to do so, but not in fun.
I'm not willing to initiate the disrespect, but I am fully, completely, 100% ready with the disrespect. Because don't think because I didn't say it that it didn't pop in my head the moment I saw it. You know what I'm saying? But here's the other thing, though. Me personally, I know that I've got people who are close to me who are larger women, right? One in particular, she would have to tell the story herself. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but who is very, 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 very close to me. And I probably made her whole childhood a living hell because I was that and I always had something quick to say or whatever. It wasn't ever just because I was trying to be mean to her specifically. It literally was once I would get on a roll with something funny, then you just keep on that same topic. Now that I've gotten older where, I don't have to harp on the same little thing to be funny, it's like, oh, okay, well, it would have been a lot broader in my approach, but instead I would harp on the same thing over and over again. So I know for a fact that her childhood, now she always knew that I would say that, but nobody else better mess with it.
Right.
But I'm sure it was not cool for having to come from me. So for that, you know who you are. I do apologize. I don't know if I ever said apology to her, but that's my baby. She know to this day, that's my baby.
No one's ever apologized to me for calling me fat.
Not once.
Not a single time.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I remember distinctly being a kid, Christmas time, and I walked out my room, my shirt off, and everybody out there, I'm talking aunties and mama and sisters and cousins, all made fun of me for having titties. It was hilarious. I can look back on it now and laugh. It was emotionally devastating at the time. You hear me? Like, if I think about it too hard right now, I might. Let's hear.
You gonna give me the Denzel tear, nigga, the glory tear?
Speaking of just like tearing me up, 2 days ago, it was my mama's birthday. So happy birthday, Mrs. Mama Dog. And like it was great. Y'all saw her on one episode, but today's Wednesday. My mama's birthday was on Monday. Love you, mama. Anyway, so I remember that distinctly, and not one of them people to this day probably have any bad feelings about what they did to me that day.
No misgivings about that decision to laugh or to mock or to do whatever it is they have done to me ever.
Destroy a little 9-year-old boy's maybe I was like 12. I don't know how old I was, but I know I was old enough to remember and to feel shame and like came out of the room and was not expecting a living room full of aunties and it was horrible. Oh my titties! Oh my titties! It was bad. You know what I'm saying? So anyway,
but this is where there are entire categories of BBW whatevers. They've got clothing lines for them. They got whole stores for them. I think who is it? Liz? Is it Liz Claiborne? I forgot what the name of the store was. But there are whole stores dedicated to the larger women, and the men you get a big and tall section in a store.
Or when you was a kid, you was husky.
Oh boy, the husky pants. Oh man, everybody knew what the husky was. Everybody knew, but these are the things that I grew up with and still go through to this day. When I can't go find a shirt that's going to cover my tits and my belly, I get one or the other. Yeah. If I'm going to try to cover the belly up, it's going to be a big ass 3X. So
Lane Bryant is the store.
That's the store. Lane. Yeah. I don't know where I got Liz Claiborne from, and I can probably
something. That's a clothing.
That's the thing. That's the thing too. As you see, and I grew up with a bunch of women, and I do not know much about what they wear, but entire stores. You've got all of these women nowadays also. Well, not all, but a lot of women. I've had a couple of my friends tell me that they want BBLs and they want to get tummy tucks and I said, I want one too. And I'm looked at a different way because I want to get my tummy tucked. I want to go under the knife. They can suck this fat out of me.
I don't even know.
I don't need a BBL. I don't need a BBL. I
don't know how we got on this, but I literally, kid you not, Googled Sono Bello last night. I was trying to figure. I didn't know what it was. Like it was like I thought it was like a they do them little cold things and wraps. Mm-hmm. Whatever. No, this is full on liposuction, and body sculpting. But I was like, I
could do it. I could because I don't have the wherewithal to lock down and get on this weight loss journey. Like, man, just give me a shot. I asked my doctor, he won't do it. So I'm trying to find another doctor. I'm getting the second opinion.
You tried to get an Ozempic shot?
Yeah, trying. He was like, you're not diabetic. Well, shit, how close am I? You know what I mean? Like if I'm just a couple percentage.
You'll go to the doctor one day, you're gonna be like, see?
If I'm a couple percentage points away, bro, I can ease myself over there if it's gonna get me this shot. If it's gonna help me lose this weight better than I'm doing it myself. I have tried. I just go out and just go walking, change my diet. I'm just fat, and I'm gonna be fat. And when people say the face of Ozempic, I can't be the face of Ozempic because I'm still fat. Wait till I lose 100, and then tell me I'm the face of Ozempic. See, that's the thing.
Listen, bro, I kid you not. I think your problem, not on the weight side, but that's
it's like, nigga, gonna tell me why I'm fat. Okay.
I think your problem is that it feels like the world is telling us as men, everything's even. Everything is done. Women can do everything that you can do. Women are entitled to everything that you're entitled to, except these jokes. And that seems unfair. You understand what I'm saying? And it is. But I've had that. I told you, I have a daughter where I've told her, I'm like, I know it's not like your brothers get to go and do this and that, and I seem like I won't let you. And it seems like it's unfair. And I said, you know what? You're right. It is unfair. It's not going to change, but it is unfair. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is.
Right.
But it happens, bro. Like, so it feels like it's not an even playing field. It feels like it's unfair.
Okay, so it's not. Is it the fact that it was a man that said it? So Monique would always go out and make the fat jokes, and nobody ever bashed her for making fat jokes because she was a bigger lady and she could go bash skinny girls forever, and it's just funny. It's just jokes. So the fact that it was a man that said it, that makes it worse.
It probably does. It makes it worse, and he's not a small man either. It's not like
he's not a small man at all.
Tiny guy who just makes fun. No. It was a man, and it was targeted at women, and it was targeted at women who are, according to them, and I think they're putting a whole lot on this now.
They are dragging it for sure.
A lot on it, where it was just like, hey, this group, they are plus size women, and they're showing that plus size women can do this. But that's it. Not when he said that, now all of a sudden it's like these women are standing for the rights and the privileges of women of all sizes and shapes. And that stop. Time out. You was just you almost got me. You almost got me over the. I almost went on my little rant. But and I hate when people put a whole lot on it. But it's just y'all were just a group of young ladies who were larger, who decided we can still do this. You understand what I'm saying? So, but because it was a man who said it, yeah, it becomes a problem. Just like, but ain't nothing new. We doing the same thing right now. We got Charlie Kirk who talks smack about everybody and everything, and all these all these MAGA people are falling all over themselves to make sure that you don't say a single thing that could possibly show Charlie Kirk in a bad light. Then fast forward and Assata Shakur dies, and you got people from the government who are saying, do not go with this lady. Don't big her up.
Don't celebrate her.
Don't celebrate her because she did this. Hey, wait a minute now. Let's go down the line, because out of the two people I just named, only one of them ever gave a crap about what I got going on. So, but that ain't what we talking about.
But I understand how
you understand the connection.
Yeah, I understand how it could feel like it belongs in this particular discussion, because now everything's so taboo.
Right.
And there was a time when you could say certain things. And I understand that we are living in a woke era, as the MAGA people call it. Like I'm not talking about the true definition of woke. I'm talking about the way that they have co-opted this word and made this what woke is. And woke, pretty much, you're not allowed to hurt anyone's feelings.
Ever.
Nobody's feelings are able to be hurt. No jokes are to be made at anyone else's expense. And for this particular situation with Joe, I think, to me, it just seems like they are taking it a little too rough. And I don't even know if the girls had anything negative to say.
I was just getting ready to say, I don't know that it's the girls who take it.
What happened was the president of their school put out a statement, and then the president from FAMU put out a statement. They're calling for this man's job. People are saying he's taking it too far. Like I said, this made national news. I looked on TMZ. It was on TMZ. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, jokes make it to TMZ?
Yes.
Fat jokes make it to TMZ.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that I did not think would ever happen. And I understand it's a little closer to me because it is FAMU, and that is the first love of my life when it comes to HBCU and college experience. As much as I love Florida State, this is the first love. As much as I love any other sport, I grew up here. Mm. So
well, let me ask you a question. I want to be clear. I don't believe that this is lose your job worthy, especially someone of Joe Bullard's
legendary.
Stature. Like that. That's not no. Mm-mm. But if one of them was your daughter that was out there, and he said that, and you did not grow up in Tallahassee, you grew up in Alabama, would you feel differently?
We're gonna crack some jokes back, because this is the battle. Again, this is a family issue.
But there's no way for them to get back at that point, because you know how this goes. The guest band plays first. So they've gotten all this stuff out. What we heard Joe Bullard do was he walked around like the other announcer just got done. Joe Bullard walked up to the mic, and he's got to get the attention of the crowd again. They've got to come back to me, and y'all know, and it's my job to pump us up, because the Marching 100 about to take the field. And so he got on the microphone and said the first thing that he could think of. And what it was is probably them big girls coming off to the sideline right there. And it was just like, and he opened his mouth and just said the first thing popped in his head. Is that enough for somebody to lose their job? No.
But here's the thing. Like, there was a situation that happened, not like this, but similar to this, years and years ago, where there was something said during a halftime show at FAMU. They were playing Tuskegee. What Tuskegee ended up doing was kicking FAMU's ass. And then as they're leaving, all of their fans are screaming, fam, 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 who? ski gay, ski gay, ski gay, ski gay, you. Like they chanted that shit, and it was pretty much their get back for what was being said. So what you do in the sports world is when someone says something disrespectful, you kick their ass and then you tell them about it. But that's what happens in that situation.
You keep bleeding over. You keep blending the two, because what happens in the stands, and you know this. What happens in the stands?
We are representing what happens in this game, and this is in the sphere of football. But in that booth, this is all football.
You got parameters. You got parameters that you have to play within.
Did he play? Did he go outside of those parameters?
That's a good question.
He did not.
I don't necessarily.
He did not, because again, there have been way more disrespectful things said coming out of those booths than what he said. So he did not go outside of the parameters.
If you weren't a FAMU fan. If you weren't a Joe Bullard FAMU fan, you would not feel the same. You wouldn't cape as hard for him.
I've had I was an athlete in my younger days. I've had people talk trash to me. Absolutely. I've had people say things about me.
Absolutely.
And all I could do is kick the people's ass that I'm against and move on about my day.
But did the announcer say that about you?
Possibly could have.
Game in front of everybody. Like
I've heard someone say, "Who's the fat kid?" on the microphone before as I was running. Because I was getting it. Yeah, heard that. Second leg of the 4x1. Getting it. Who's the fat kid? Heard that.
That's why you okay.
Heard that.
This explains so much. This explains so much. So what it is that you, like I, am reliving a moment in your history.
Hey, nigga, there are so many moments. There are so many moments that I can go. But yes, this came out. But for me, it was.
Ran as a fat kid. I wrestled as a fat kid in a singlet, nigga. I ain't no sympathy.
Right. And I'm out there in my John Stocktons too. I got my John Stocktons on.
Oh, not the short shorts.
Oh, short shorts.
But here's the thing. Now, this goes back to your point. The freedom with which those people had the ability on a microphone to say what they said about the boy, that same freedom is not there when it comes to females. Now,
so if they said who's the fat kid
or not,
if they said who's the fat kid during the girls' race, it wouldn't have been taken the same. I would have taken it the same. Especially if she went out there and did what I did and kicked ass. If you kicking ass, hey. So if they went out there and performed great, and this man went out there and was like the face of Ozempic, yeah, but look what we just did, my nigga. Look what we just did. We just went out there and showed that, hey, man, you flick that dude off and you go on about your business. Ain't no big deal. It's just jokes. It's just competition.
I agree. I agree that it's just jokes, because I want to be clear. I understand, especially with FAMU right now, I understand why this is a big deal. The reason being is, number one, who it came from. And the position he holds in the community, not just at the school. We talking in the North Florida community across the board.
Yeah, and if you don't know Joe Bullard, Google Joe Bullard. You'll see where Joe Bullard comes from.
And so when that all goes down, it's different coming from him. Now, I've heard Joe Bullard say some wild stuff. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But this is the first time and correct me if I'm wrong, because that it seemed targeted at individuals and not a team or not a group.
No.
Nope.
He talks about dancers all the time. All the time. He talks about dance, whatever it may be.
If I got up there and said, if Joe Bullard got up there and said they dance like they got bricks on their feet, that's a part of the performance and the crew, and my band's better than yours, and my dancers are better than yours. But that's not.
If he says go out there and get them girls some sandwiches or put some clothes on them, like things like it's
that's
just
funny. That's not. But that's not. That's
get
not,
them a sandwich or get them a shot. That's the same thing. But you can talk about skinny girls. You can talk about skinny girls.
It's not, and you know it.
Telling the skinny girl she needs a sandwich is not as bad as telling the fat girl she needs a diet.
No,
it's not.
No,
it's the same body shaming. It's just in a different direction.
Wrong.
How?
Because now you're reaching.
Tell me how that's different.
Okay, I'll tell you how it's different.
Okay, please.
Because in general, and I'm not saying everybody, not saying all, but what I'm saying in general, the
like
idea of an acceptable body is less body.
Oh, so you're gonna hold us to the white standard? Because that's white man standard.
I'm not holding anybody to the white
standard. That's
the
white man standard. No,
it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Because black girl, what are you talking about?
It's
black
the white man standard
all the time. I need to lose weight. I need to lose this. I need to lose that.
And guess why they saying that? Because
we ain't talking about that.
Because Cosmo said you fat.
No, Lakeisha said you was fat.
Cosmo told Lakeisha she was fat, and I ain't down with that. See, baby got back. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for right now.
That's what you're looking for.
What I'm looking for.
That's a whole different show when we start talking about what men prefer versus what women think men want. That's a whole different show.
Because they read the Cosmo and they are judging themselves on the white man standard. White boys look at thick folks. White boys look at thick people and say they fat. And everybody thinks they're too big.
Yep.
Now everybody thinks they're too big.
Yep. Not everybody, but
and then we had this thing where Lizzo was all body positive, and now she's trying to lose weight too. So did she not believe in everything she said?
Lizzo,
did she not believe what she was saying?
That's a line that was crossed, in my opinion, because we went from women are beautiful, whatever size they are, to I'm healthy, whatever size I am. I look good, whatever size I am. I'm accept me. If you don't like me the way I am, then there's something wrong with you, and I don't agree with that.
Look good and healthy are not the same, and that's the thing. There. Look good and healthy are not the same.
I know there are millions and millions of beautiful, large women, and then there are some very, very ugly, small women. You understand what I'm saying? And what I am saying is there are very, very few extremely healthy women above 250 pounds.
Yeah, depending on how tall they are, because it's some big.
On how tall you are. Sure. You got to be 7 foot something.
I looked at this one chick from the WNBA. She about 7 foot tall, and she about 260, 270. Boy, she is gorgeous.
Right, but see what I'm saying.
You said very few, and I was like, depending on how big they are. That's what I'm going with. But
so the problem is that Lizzo went too far, and then because she went so far and so hard at people who said, "Hey, that don't look right," or "That don't look healthy," or she went so hard at them, and then turn around and do the weight loss thing. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that kind of took
either they were right or they were wrong, or you're wrong. Like, what's going on? Because now you're changing up.
And are you doing it for the look of you, or are you doing it for your health reasons? And either way, I don't care. Like, do what you want to do, but my thing is, I ain't telling nobody what. Hey, if you want to be fat, be fat. Just be clean. That's all. Be clean.
You want to be fat, be clean, but also don't.
I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be fat, and that's why I'm waiting on my shot.
Hey, y'all tell us in the comments. Do y'all think that me and Thommy should do a weight loss challenge?
No, they don't have to tell us nothing. We need to do a weight loss challenge, and I also need to do a What y'all can tell me? Should I dye my beard? Do I look old? How old do I look?
Hey, look here. Here's the thing. I got all black, and then right here. It look, and it's I got a couple over here.
And who asked me if I was your father? Was that somebody at one of your restaurants? Is that your dad?
Which is funny because, I mean, you look like my daddy. Like you do.
I look like it. Had she ever seen your father? Has she ever seen your father before? That's quick. Has she ever seen your father?
At? Who was that?
It was at the Mexican spot.
Oh no, they had never met my pops.
Okay, so fuck her then. Never mind. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know.
Hey, I told you my wife went to, when she started her nursing stuff. We went to D. Tell me if I'm lying, D. Y'all check the record. His daddy was a dentist. God rest his soul. God rest Dr. Courtney. But he was a dentist in Winter Springs, and my wife had to do dental exams to get into nursing school, and so we went there, of course, because we know a dentist. We went there, and the girl who worked behind the counter has seen me 317 times because I was always up there at the office. And walked in there, and I said, "Hey, is it cool if I go back there with her?" And she goes, "Your dad?" And I went, "Nigga,
see,
You know good and well I ain't got no 20-something-year-old child. And I'm only a year and 11 months older than her. But anyway, that ain't the point. That ain't what we're talking about.
But yeah,
the overall thing is, like you said, the overall thing is the question is there a double standard? Absolutely. There absolutely is. Should there be a double standard? In my opinion, to some degree, yeah. Because I feel like women should be held in a higher regard than that. And do I think that this is a fireable offense? No. But do I think it's worse because it came from a man? And do I think it's worse because it came from a man named Joe Bullard? Absolutely. That stings. So
coming from Joe, it hurts. So just to put a bow on this, do you think that as a culture we need to do away with the weight-related insults?
No.
Let them go.
The world would be a less funny place if I couldn't make fun of fat people, and I'm a fat man. No.
So okay,
and I make fun of skinny people. So I make fun of people in general, but if you start taking bullets out of my magazine, then you can't do that to me.
So rest in peace to my homeboy Fat Pat. Should I not say Fat Pat anymore? My wife called him Not So Fat Pat because he started losing crazy weight too. But he's still fatter than Dog Man Pat. So he's got to be Fat Pat. He can't just be Patrick. Well, he's dead now anyway, so I guess he's neither. But when I speak of him as Fat Pat. And should I not do that any longer? Should I not call Fatso? Should I not call him Fats? Should I call him by his government name?
No.
I met this guy my senior year of high school. And he's been fat since my senior year of high school. I think I called him by his name for maybe the first 2-3 weeks. And then realized he lived across the fence from me. I went over there, met his mom, met his brother. We started kicking it. And it's just been fast.
No, don't change that. Because see, there are terms of endearment. And I mean, this may be just me being like selfish because then I'll be confused when you start calling real names. I'll be like, I don't even know who you're talking about no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it remains that, but.
So I can't just go around singing the Ozempic song?
There's an Ozempic song?
Ozempic.
Oh, yeah.
You know. I can't sing My Fat Girls Make the World Slow Down no more.
Fat girls make the world slow. You so stupid.
Hey, man. Hey, that's
it's
man,
hilarious.
That's classic.
The thing.
That's classic.
It's going to be forever funny, but there's a time and a place for everything, and I think that Joe Bullard just kind of stepped in it. And here's the other thing, and I know we got to go, but I just want to point out that over the last 12 months, FAMU as an institution has had multiple oopses. You understand what I'm saying?
But
they had the president change. They had the athletic director change. They had the announcer change. They had and on top of all of that, from what I heard from some sources in there and some sources with you in there, like there was a whole lot of underlying thing with the board and with all the spending and all this other stuff. So there's a lot that was going on. The last thing Florida A&M University needs at this moment is one of their staples, one of their an institution in itself to come out and have a flub like that. It's not a good look.
But here's the thing: over the last 12 months, as you've mentioned, FAMU has had some hiccups.
Yeah,
Joe Bullard personally has had some hiccups. During last year's homecoming, there were comments made during the homecoming parade that had people in an uproar. Joe Bullard I guess he quit. He's separated from the radio station that he had been with in Tallahassee since he left 90 since he left WANM. I don't remember. I think he was on the AM side before. So growing up, you heard Joe Bullard constantly. So he's separated from that particular position within the last 6 months or so under some controversial situations. And then for this to come up, it's like, all right, maybe you're at the point where God's trying to tell you something. Maybe the public eye is no longer a place that you need to be, because I think now he is running the radio station at the school because, hey, you're a radio legend. Mm-hmm. So why would we not bring you back into the fold and give you some positions here? And he's now starting to step in it a lot more often than before. And maybe it's just due to the fact that times are changing. And the things that you were able to say and do in years past are no longer going to be accepted. And if that's the case,
I don't know. I see what you're saying, and I agree with you. Like, I agree 98%, because that last 2% is that I don't think, like, this comment in and of itself, outside anytime post 1980 would have gotten a backlash regardless.
right?
What I think the problem is that it wouldn't have been to the degree of backlash that it is right now, where you've got to have the president and the school, the entity itself, have to make a statement. I think if he would have said that same comment in 1988, 1992, 2001, 2012, it would have gotten the same reaction, but it wouldn't have gone as far as TMZ.
I think he would have just gotten a belly laugh in the stands, and it would have been posted, and maybe those. Nobody knows who the girls are. Nobody knows those girls except for those people over there in Alabama.
Just saw a picture of them girls. You put the picture up.
That ain't them.
We know them girls now.
That ain't them. That's just some girls. That's just some girls who used to be. They used to be.
Who are in the uniform.
They just some ex-honeybees.
Ex-honeybees.
I'm gonna find a picture I'm gonna find a picture. Well, y'all go look up who we were talking about.
Problem. While I'm sitting here trying to defend them and say that he doesn't need to make them jokes,
you got jokes and jokes and jokes and jokes.
But here's the thing is, and what saddens me about this whole situation is that a staple like
a legend,
Joe Bullard, is at a point now where he probably should go sit down.
Yeah. Because he's in the crosshairs now. They're
honored.
Now everything he says is going to be nitpicked. So now they're going to be looking. And
they're going to go back. They're going to go back to stuff that he said before as examples of him taking it too far. We gave him a chance. Look, when he said this, we didn't do anything. When he said that, we didn't do anything. And with anybody, you can do that. What makes me sad about it, though, is that because of who he is and what he means to a community and to a school and to us as a people, I think it's sad when we as a people start looking at him going, maybe you're going too far, bro. Nope. And he's still kind of.
He is our Charlie Kirk. Y'all will not silence him. He will live on. You are not getting rid of Joe. I don't care. Hey, he's ours. And y'all can say what y'all want to do. He is uncancelable in the city. No matter what y'all got to say about him, he always good in the city. So he don't have to go anywhere. There's enough of everything in Tallahassee. He don't need y'all.
He got a lot of stuff.
And he got a lot of money for that city. He got a lot of money for that city. So he's all right. He's all right.
I don't think so. I think he's all right in the city and people love him and I love him too. I just think that I think sometimes your legacy should outweigh any controversy, and his does, but you know how people are, man. The last thing is the biggest thing.
Can you imagine MAGA Marva removing Joe Bullard?
It'll be removing herself. What she need to do is what Barack Obama did with Joe Biden and what Barack Obama tried to do with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. We need to have a private conversation and be like, hey, listen, how about this? You make an announcement that you're going to retire and you get to crown the next announcer, and we do this whole big everything and spend the whole rest of the season, or not even the rest of the season. He needs to stay on for the rest of the season.
Right.
In the off season, he needs to announce that he's not going to come back.
Have a whole TV show dedicated, radio.
Right.
Hey, everyone
and
come in and
spend that whole off season between the football
during band camp,
honoring him. Right. And it needs to be that, because it needs to show we stand with Joe regardless.
But it's time for Joe to move on.
But it also needs to be Joe, go over here. Now, am I saying that I think that Joe Bullard needs to retire? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's getting dangerous. I
watched Florida State fire Bobby Bowden, so hey, I understand letting go of legends, and it is hard thing to do.
When Granddaddy got sick, when it was getting close, Granddaddy said some things that wasn't what Granddaddy, you know what I'm saying? There was something, and it was just like, it was heartbreaking to me because I know that's no longer my granddaddy that's saying those things. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that's the situation right now where it's like, I understand, bro, but that's not the same dude no more. And we gotta protect the legacy of our legends, just like the white folks do it for theirs all the time. They don't go. I know I keep saying we got to go, but listen, have you seen you see the clip of Gladys Knight on stage recently?
No, what is she
Like
doing?
she's just like, it's just so, her voice sounds the same, but she looks bad, bro.
She needs a chair.
Yeah, but she was just kind of moving around. She's singing Midnight Train to Georgia, and she's doing like moves, but the moves are two verses behind what she. You know
so
what I'm saying?
she's really leaving.
Right. She's struggling, and I'm just like, yo, why do we parade our legends like that? Did you see when Ozzy Osbourne did his final concert? They made every attempt to make him look good without exposing all of his frailties, even though we knew what all those frailties were.
But
so I think we need to take a stand and start protecting our legends. And if nobody else deserves it, Joe Bullard
deserves to go out on his shield.
Yes, sir.
As they say, let him go out on his shield. But sometimes you have to pull that coat and let him know, hey, bro, before you do anything else that could hurt yourself, go behind the scenes. Go behind the scenes.
But here, the other thing is, though, if you think about it, we don't spend enough time. Our OGs don't spend enough time anymore training up replacements,
cultivating the next generation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is nobody who's on a level like we've gotten so siloed where what I do is what I do, and I don't want to care about anybody else and what they're doing. That now I don't have any peers that can tap me on the shoulder
because there are no peers around it. He is the godfather of it all, and you couldn't tell one of his subordinates, hey, go tell Joe what to do. Hey, there's no way. Like Joe is that guy. Like I crafted my announcer voice after Joe, my radio announcer voice, my commercial voice. I went into my radio gig over here in Jacksonville, started doing commercial work. The very first commercial I did, I think it was for AutoZone. I went into my Joe Bullard voice, and it was and mimicked everything. But it was like, what the hell is that? It was like, never do that again. Right. And I'm like, this is the legendary. I'm like, and it was when I listened back to it, I was like, that's Joe. What does he mean? Don't do that again. But it's so unorthodox, but it's so for us. And again, this is sports talk radio, and it's a whole bunch of white guys. I think I was one of two black people in the entire building. And that's not what the commercial should sound like. That's not what it's going to be. Sir, this is legend. And if I let Joe hear it, he would applaud me and tell me that. The echo, I'm talking about, it was 100% mimicking. And I had to break myself out of it because I'm like, I can't be Joe. But the first time I got behind the microphone to record a commercial, the only thing I could think of was who have I heard, who have I studied? Oh,
yep.
And that was that. But yeah, it doesn't go to that other side for some odd reason. But for us, he is the standard.
Feels like home.
It is home. My entire life, like this voice has showed up on a radio my entire life. And for me, when it's time to, I'm going to perform now, it's my turn. It was.
That's what you know, because you know you can pull it off. I did the same thing. I did the same thing doing these commercial radio clips, and I'm in there recording, and I sent it to Sterling.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Bald-Headed Barbershop. But I sent the clip to Sterling. His response back to me was, slow down. And then he was like, you got to remember your stadium voice and your radio voice and your hosting voice. You got to get in your bag and find out.
There's got to be a variation.
Right.
They need to sound the same, but not sound the same.
Right. And I've found out that like I'll be talking to you like this. I'll be like, hey, all right, so cool. Y'all ready to start? They put a microphone in my hand. I go, all right, guys. All right, y'all ready? Okay, I'll go ahead and start now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And it just clicks on real quick. You be like, not do that? Like that didn't even make sense. And you do it without thinking about it. But I'll tell you this, and I'll let you close this out. I'm done talking. But I will tell you this. At some point, I hope that we all, whatever it is that we do, like we do this podcast and this entertainment thing and this hosting thing, I hope that we, number one, are open to other people and their opinions about what we do and take when you know they mean well for you. And number two, that we train somebody who can come in and be able to replace us when it's time for us to move on. That's why I love what we've done when it becomes the support in other podcast platforms. Shout out Melanin Mindset. Shout out Ballhead Barbershop. When it becomes to supporting other people and what they're doing, even down to Throne Room Apparel, T&J Lemonade, you know what I'm saying? Like natural disasters. All these people, they don't pay us, but we like what they're doing, and they're not a threat to us. We only get better by bigging up the people who are doing good things around us. So that's what we need to do. And this is an example, in my opinion, of a man who has become he's got his own orbit that there is nobody who can sit him down. Not that they need to. I'm just saying there is nobody who's there who can just go, hey, let me holler at you for a second.
Well,
so
for me, I'm just hoping that, as you say, Joe needs to be able to leave on his own terms.
Right.
But there also needs to be an understanding on his behalf and on his side that says, hey, maybe I can't take those steps that I would before because this isn't the same environment. It's not the same. Right. It's not the same platform that it was before. So I must take into account the way that things are.
Yeah.
But I will also say MAGA Marva should not have to make this decision. She should not.
She's going to.
She cannot. She's walking a fine line here with this particular school and with this fan base and with the supporters of this institution. And not just the institution of Florida A&M, but the institution that is Joe Bullard.
Yes, sir.
She is walking a fine line here, and she needs to take a look at the fallout that could come from this at some point. And I'm just going to give her the advice of walk slowly, but also be firm in your decision, whatever your decision is. But don't let the public sway you into a decision.
You better be prepared with an explanation either way.
Either way.
And understand that even if he leaves, he got fired. If he leaves, he got fired. But 100%. She's got to make sure she handles that properly.
She has to handle it. She has to handle the institution with care. She has to handle the situation. She has to handle the fan base. She has to handle the community at large,
right?
Properly. So, Marva, get you a pack. Get you a good old pack of cools. Get you in the corner and write this one out, baby. Figure it out. Figure it out. But cousin,
yeah, man.
All the fat girls, I love you. That's all I want to say. I love you. And I do not want you to go on Ozempic. I need the Ozempic. If you get it, send it to me. Let me have it. I'll take the jab for you. You do not need a BBL. You do not need liposuction. You are perfect just the way you are. I love you. And you better not call me fat either. Don't come over here and touch my titties. Don't come rub my belly. Don't poke it and be like, hee.
You be like,
don't do that to me.
Hey, bro.
Right.
Hey,
right.
girl.
Either way. Don't do that to me. But I love you. Be okay with whatever life throws at you. You are perfect just the way you are. I just want you to be healthy. That's all it is. I just want you to be healthy. And if you don't want to be healthy, that's fine too. You can diet whenever you feel like it. I support you. I love you. I want you to be healthy, but you don't have to be. Go and eat that snack. Go and get that ice cream. Go and get that cake.
The views expressed by Thommy and the nature is and his alone and do not necessarily represent.
So you don't want them to be happy?
If it means that they're going to die early, no.
Hey, man, everybody ain't meant to be here forever.
You're right.
Hey, cousin, we have not been canceled yet.
Not yet.
So we going to do this again next week, bro.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I love you. I love y'all.
Love you, boy. Hey, big girls, I love y'all too. Remember, he's the one that said that you need to get.
Hey, big girl, like, share, subscribe, follow,
comment. I want to know what y'all got to say about this one. Like, for real,
yeah,
for real.
please let me know. Do y'all think Joe Bullard went too far? That's the question for tonight. And is there a double standard? Do you think that you guys are treated differently? Fat boys, where you at? Y'all think y'all treated differently than the fat girls? Hey, it's all right. But cousin, man, love you, boy. We're gonna get up out of here. Yeah, love y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace.
Congratulate them. They're now the new face of Ozempic.
So good. I stand here and let it go up my shirt.
So you just to take all of the air conditioning while the rest of us sweat to death.
There's all kinds of it coming in.
No, I don't think so. No, not with that roadblock.
When you shut that off, you let me know, okay?
If he says one more word to me, I'm gonna deck him.
Okay, what do you do?
He just told me I was a roadblock and I was blocking all the air conditioning. And he told me I needed to walk around with a bag on my head because I was ugly.